Yep, the drought is over for the Tigers. And Glenelg hasn't beaten the Eagles here at Woodville since, you guessed it, 1999. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Woodville Oval. Rod Campbell with me this afternoon. And Rod, I know you don't like omens and history, but gee, the Glenelg supporters will be hanging on that. 1999, last time they won here.
They will be, and I love the history of the game, but it's going to be an exciting game. We've got two fiercely competitive teams, already qualified for the finals, and looking forward to a great game today, Neil.
A little bit of psychological advantage, you'd think, for the winner this afternoon. Last night, as we said, North Adelaide beating Sturt by just 7 points to sew up a double chance in the finals. We'll have highlights of that at quarter time. Eagles Glenelg, our match of the day, and we'll keep you in contact with the two other games this afternoon. Through the premiership table, and as you can see, look, apart from what, a 100-point victory by Glenelg, the Eagles are certain that they're going to have that double chance. Yeah,
I don't think we're going to see a 100-point margin today. Eagles deserve to be in the top three. The great form towards the end of the year. They've won the last 4 in a row. Glenelg the last 5. It's just going to be a fiercely competitive game. Looking forward to it.
And looking at the goal-kicking list, Brad Chambers assured of being #1. As you can see, 6 goals last night, 106 for the season. It is close further down. Justin McConnell this afternoon on 58, and Flatco, of course, playing for Norwood this afternoon with 57 goals. Down to Soda's on the boundary, and Soda's a late change for the Eagles.
Yeah, there sure is. And speaking of goals, a man who kicks plenty of them, Mark Passador, is out of the side, a late withdrawal. A bit of a problem with his back, nerve-related. Now, it wasn't too bad, but they decided not to risk him today. And his loss somewhat countered by the fact Grokey back in the side, Adam Grokey, after kicking 3 goals in the reserves. And Ronnie Fuller's just inked a new contract that'll keep him in charge here at Oval Avenue for another 2 years.
I've always enjoyed doing it, and particularly this year, it was a tough start to the year, but we fought our way back, and there's some terrific juniors in the club, and it's going to be good to be a part of that.
Now we look at the Eagles side, so as well as Passador, there's McGregor and Inkster missing from this lineup, but very exciting player. Petrenko made his debut last week. Looking for some exciting things from him today, Neil.
And so does Glenelg. Some sad news, I guess, in some ways, for the former captain, Ben Moore.
Yes, a little speed demon has decided to hang up the boots, and he's also pulled out of today's game, actually. He's got a bit of a hamstring problem he picked up Wednesday night. He did it a little while ago, but Wednesday night training felt a little sore, so he didn't want to risk that before next week's elimination final. So Benny will go out in a big note playing finals football. And last time these sides met in round 16, well, the Eagles got off to a flyer, and it's something the Bays have looked at.
Yeah, and we've worked on that, you know, for a lot of games since then too. And you know, it's often hard to put a finger on why that happens, but we have arrested it to a fair degree, and we'd certainly be looking to a fast start today.
Okay, we now go to the Glenelg lineups. They also miss out on Richie Douglas today, who's travelling with the Crows. But a tough midfield with Fisher, Murphy, Allen and Back will provide a real competitive opposition or opponent today for Woodville.
So as you'd have to say, the conditions here pretty good for football, though maybe just a tad warm.
Yeah, a little warm. Around 26 degrees is the top we're expecting. The players will find it uncomfortable. The ground's in good nick. A bit of breeze around, just swirling and also favouring the right of screen. So that could have some bearing on the contest today. But conditions certainly great for watching. And as we said, the players, I think, will find the going a little tough as the day goes on.
Now, Rod, a couple of topics to talk through as the players begin to take up their positions. Firstly, what does either side draw out of this match in terms of winning it?
I just think the finals atmosphere and finals competitiveness is what both sides are looking for today. So it gives them a real good march into finals time with that type of footy a week before the finals.
Do you take an edge in if you win this match?
I think so, a mental edge. Just you go in knowing that you can win, you can play that sort of footy and come out with a victory. I think the Eagles know they can do that. Glenelg don't know yet, so they've got more to prove today.
We've discussed the conditions. We look across this picturesque ground. It's a beautiful, dry afternoon made for running football. If you like, Glenelg likes to score. Can they score, say, a 100-point win? And it gives Sturt, hand them back the double chance.
I don't think that's going to happen. Today's conditions are ideal. When the finals come around, it's usually pretty windy. See how we go today in these ideal conditions.
Well, as he said, players just about in position now. Michael Maney's in position, and away we go with the first quarter.
Dead right, Neil, and what an important game it is psychologically for both these teams, as the boys said. Umpires Day, Hay and Ralston tuning up for a final series, maybe. Round 23, extremely high bounce by the umpire. I didn't think it was going to come down for a moment. Back here. And a free kick in the middle will go to Paul Lindsay. for the Eagles. So they'll get the first foray forward to Powell. On the lead, Salter. He's a good player, this fellow. Definitely knows where the footy is. The ball just seems to follow him up forward, and he's normally a good finisher.
Eagles aren't renowned for their fast starts to first quarters, and Mark Micken wants Glenelg to start fast today. So we'll see who gets the points.
Nick Salter did a hamstring a few weeks ago. Good to see him back in the side. Booted half a dozen last week. And needs to draw this back. Good-looking kick. It'll fade away to the right, but first blood to the Eagles. And as Mark Soderstrom said, they're just kicking with a slight breeze, swirling around. Now let's go to the Eagles bench with Mark Soderstrom.
Well, Jared Petrenko has been an emergency for many weeks. He finally made his debut last week. 17 touches against South, did very well. And he's joined by Brad Dabrowski and also Sammy Fairclough.
That's it, that's it.
Ben Mules, the skipper of Glenelg, back to the McGarry medalist in Backwell. Patient, slow. Eagles will man up all the way. And again, Mules under pressure, but took the short pass at centre half back. He can come to this side of the ground. They've got a couple. Hinge and then Sherwood, and Hinge didn't get it to him. Now he's got Backwell. Backwell can go down the line. He went by hand to Mules. Now they've got a little bit of space, but not much, I must say. That's a good mark by Kirkby. Took several of those last week against Sturt, leading up the ground. In a real contest this afternoon with Mackenzie. Now Mules, he's had a great start, hasn't he?
He has, but it's a slow start to the game.
So that's not 15, and Ruwalt forced a hand pass. Now Fisher. Then they go to Kirk, who wanted to go wide, so they've gone right across the ground and basically gone nowhere. Now Rudolph takes his time and drives it inside 50, and that's an unrealistic attempt at mark, I think, by Josh Marnie.
He might still be celebrating Port's win after last night, Marnie. I think he wasn't anywhere near that.
Redden just shorts it up to the skipper in Sikalella, who's starting to run into some form coming up to finals time. Has had his injury problems. Premiership player to the wing. Redden's run on. He was the one who delivered to Sikalella. Kirk ran out of bounds with a footy, and Redden just makes sure he takes him to ground, but a boundary throw in. Warm conditions, around 26 degrees, Rod. This will interesting to see who's got the fitness to go the journey.
Tough conditions, but they might see something like this all through September, I think, Michael.
Need a bit of rain, that's for sure. Grounds it. Let's go down to Mark on the Glenelg bench.
Big Trev Cranston came back last week from I think he had a punctured lung he suffered against South Adelaide, so he's back in action again today. Got through okay last week. Josh Willoughby bagged 4 in the 2s, and Lucas Block's also on the bench.
Jarrett squeezed the kick down the line. Hinge just backed himself with his pace, and then found a couple on their own on the wing. Just flicks over the back. Good work by Allen to Backwell, who kicked around his body with a high wobbling ball. Joe Pedler's got the zinc cream on. That means it's warm, and Fiacci's worn one around the shoulder from Smith, and he'll get a free kick. The left footer.
Okay, we're just looking through this, and you can see Smith grab Fiacci too high on a well-deserved free kick.
Bernie Vince. You can see that ball's got a lot of carry on it. The target was Salter again, but Sugars did well, and Sikalella to Treby. Treby measures the kick. It might flick over the back. It does, and a grateful Simmons is there.
Gee, that was delightful play there. Sikalella came back. He knew Treby was on his left foot. He knows his teammates' abilities. Treby came over, just popped it over the top. As we just go back to the replay now, see Sikalella, the captain, out to a left-footed Treby, straight into the corridor, and Simmons, a nicely floated kick over the top to Simmons, and finishes off with a good goal. And welcome back to the team, Dale Simmons.
And fellas, that's Simmons' 50th goal in SANFL company.
Interesting there, Josh Marnie again, just misjudging his attempt to spoil coming over the top.
Yes, he's not quite with it at the moment, Josh.
Lindsay in the middle, lovely palm down. Vince couldn't get a clean disposal. Now it's Kane for Glenelg. Down to half forward he goes for Ruwalt. Set him a task. Fiacci got him off the ball. Now he goes back to McKenzie. Quickly to Fiacci in the 1-2. Forced to kick around the corner and gave it up straight away to Murphy. Murphy. Now, interesting contrasting styles this afternoon. The Bays will want to go hard and quick, And the Eagles very much get numbers behind the ball and make it a contest all the time. Here's Vince running free. And Groke's giving him a strong lead. Couldn't handle it below the knees. Sherwood did. Now he wants to push off. Lomas came at him strongly. Sugar's in trouble. Salter got him. Groke took it. Now Sikalella. Goal coming up, you'd think. Lovely square ball. And Simmons marks it 40 metres out. And how was that vision from Justin Sikalella?
That was absolutely brilliant. Sikalella started on fire. He's working inside 50, but to even spot Simmons then and bring the ball back the way he did, unselfishly, it came off. It's going to be great to watch on the replay here, Michael, if we go back to it. But Sikalella, absolutely brilliant. He's found Simmons and sets him up for his second shot at goal. Unfortunately, it was only behind.
Disappointing kick from Simmons, who has kicked that goal from about 20 metres out a moment ago, but there's a swirly breeze out there, and that just may be putting off some of the players this afternoon. The goal kicking, I noticed in the reserves, was pretty good, though, as Rudolph prepares. Boots to the outer side. Good fly in front, not paid. That was Sherwood. Ball to ground, and a ball up.
Gee, Bernie Vince has been good so far. He's had 2 terrific possessions and lovely kicks. He got his hands on the footy there. Is working well through the centre square as well, Michael.
Yeah, it's a tough day out there. Here's Vince. Sherwood, just in the congestion, opened it up with a brilliant handball to McConnell, who wanted to use Backwell to Fisher. They just share it with Kane. So a lot of possessions as Marnie tries to go to McConnell. McConnell didn't want to bend and kick it off the ground. That's not some of his best work, Justin McConnell.
If you see, if you're looking to go into finals footy, like tapping the ball on both players there and just reaching for the ball instead of getting the body behind is not what Mark Micken will want to see.
Just saw a shot of Mark Micken, and here's McConnell. Over the top, Holmes, back to McConnell. Tries to set up Smith. Treby got in the hole. That was terrific play. Murphy working close to the line and did come off his boot in the end. And a bit of, how's your father down there, close to the line, just to stir up the crowd here at Woodville Oval.
Just have a look at this here. You can see Murphy tries to pick the ball up and kicks it out on the full.
Here's Holmes, quick disposal. And twice he got it away from the pack. Now Sikalella, he wanted to go back, and in the end he missed with the hand pass. And the free kick will be taken by Allen, who was riding him all the way. Now it doesn't really open up at all for the Bays. Allen forced to go down the line. And Smith was a target, the ball knocked out of bounds, and he's had a go at Pedlar. Wait on the umpire's decision. And umpire Colin Ralston says, yes, that was a nice back flop, but he didn't actually get you.
Yeah, we'll just go back to that. See Joe Pedlar trying to milk it, as only Joe can, but the umpire was a little bit smarter on this occasion.
Seeing plenty of that green mouthguard of Joey Pedlar as he went back laughing then. Another tight contest around the stoppage. It's come out the back. Kane takes his time. He's run 20 metres backwards. Now looking for the hand pass to Holmes. Did well, and then going back to Kane. 1-2 is on. Running still was Holmes. He did well. Just got the kick away. Simmons put him under pressure. Well done by Allen. Comes around on the right foot, puts it up in front of goals. Doldig was taken to ground. Now Backwell. He couldn't get away. Yes, he could. Got the little kick away. Marnie, no. He couldn't take it. Kirby in the back, free kick.
Yeah, Mark McKenzie's got to be a little bit more careful than that. It was a bit obvious he needed to stay out of the back of his opponent there. But good play by Glenelg. They got the ball inside quickly. Just going to go back to this one here. You can see McKenzie, and he's just over-committed, and that's going to cost you a free kick every time.
So Kirkby from 20 metres out has no problem with it. And the Bays have taken almost 10 minutes to just get their opening score of the game.
Just go back to the replay here. You can see them driving the ball in, Glenelg. And this is where Backwell gets the ball. Brings it back, just keeps it in the area. And playing in front is exactly what you want to see players doing, and Kirkby did that well, and he's a good player and knows where the goals are.
But at 5 last week, Rory Kirkby just hitting some nice form coming into the finals. 2 points in favour of the Eagles, who scored the first goal through Simmons with a nice, well-judged mark over the back, and then a goal. Dabrowski took it out of the ruck and pumped it forward. No mark. This is Grokey. Grokey goes for home and just sprays it away to the left. They'll be handy to get some game time into Adam Grokey, who's missed a few games with injury, Rod. Yeah, he's a very important player to the Eagles. And as you said, he needs to get the game time, needs court time, and today we're doing very well, especially in these conditions.
His Mules had a great start to the game. Chris Kendall will just tell us how many stats he's had already. Picked up a few marks.
Yeah, 4 kicks coming up for his 5 kicks, I should say, 4th marks.
It goes long to centre wing. Kirkby came over the back, punched it away. Fiacci inside 50. Cooper sat under it bravely. Mules came late, but Cooper will take it.
Gee, there's a lot to like about the way the Eagles are going inside forward 50. We go back to this and all over Cooper. Good courage, as you said, Neil. And he wins a free kick.
It's the ruck change going on there for the Bays, with Cranston having his first run and Lucas Block waiting as well, just about to come on.
They're a good combination, Kirk and Cranston in the ruck.
Cooper, 10 goals, 11 for the season. Make that 11 for the season.
Terrific goal, Matty Cooper, well deserved. He showed courage, he was very brave and sat under that foot. He earned the free kick and finished as only he can with a beautiful goal. Here we go back. You see Cooper standing his ground. He knew what was coming. He had to take what was coming. Great kick by Peter Fiacci. And the Eagles are using the ball well inside 50. They're finding players in short and giving them a chance from good spots to have shots at goals.
Former Sturt Premiership player Matthew Cooper, there he is, in the Adelaide Hills League, was a real star and then drifted down to play with Sturt, and he's been a star in the SANFL.
Yes, he played for Harndorf in the Hills League.
Out of the centre, congestion there. Pack of players, a secondary ball up in the centre of this very, very hard Woodville Oval. It's been much rain about for a fair while. Awkward bounce by the umpire. Didn't take it back, Circulella, back to Trevey. Trevey, sold the dummy, and then split the behinds. I overcommitted.
Yeah, terrific play out of the centre. Well, you would have thought, when you had a second look at it, Lee Trevey, he would have kicked that goal just offline to the left side. And a terrific clearance and terrific play by the Eagles again. They've started very well.
Rudolph with a kick in, goes to the outer side. Sherwood got hands to the ball, was pushed. Sherwood will take the free kick, and the drift back by the Eagles defensively. McConnell is the option inside that Sherwood briefly considered. Now wait on. Umpire coming across and suggesting maybe there's a bit of blood on Sherwood. And now he's being forced to surrender the ball. He'll run to this side of the ground and have to come off.
Well, he does that. It was interesting to see last week, Neil, when at the quarter-time break, Mark Micken speaking to his charges. It was a wonderful insight to coaching at SANFL level, and his instructions or instructive talk was terrific to see, and obviously a very good coach, and has Glenelg playing well for him this year.
Paul Sherwood coming to the bench. He's trying to go directly to the bench, but you can't do that. You have to go through the interchange, even though it is a blood rule decision. Now, this has meant there is a batch of players about 40, 50 metres from where the ball or where the kick will be taken by McConnell. And they've all huddled together, and finally breaking is Kirk. Quickly off around the back to Ruwalt. And he'll come this side of the ground. Block, position A, took a strong mark. And now he looks down the line, and the Bays have successfully switched their target of attack to this side of the ground. Well, successfully. Well, they did that part right. They just didn't get it anywhere near their half-forward line effectively. So the ball out of bounds, plenty to think about. The Eagles by 10 points halfway through the opening turn.
Ron Fuller, studious coach, as Mark said at the top of the program. Another couple of years for Ron at the Eagles. Well deserved too. He's got them back into another final series. Over the back, Ruwalt. Good handball to Kane. Kane a bounce. He cuts in towards 50. Loads up a long kick. Is it going to come back? Kirkby can't get back to take the mark. Another behind.
He's a good player, Kane. He's rotating through the centre. and had some good valuable possessions already. Long kick of the ball. Pity he couldn't finish with a goal there for Glenelg supporters.
Now the slow, patient, effective Eagles bring the ball in. Redden wide out, just where the 50 arc meets the boundary line. Big mistake back. Well, came back at him nicely. He'll look centre corridor. Didn't like what he saw. Now he does. Ball was touched and gathered in the end by Allen. Released the hand pass Marnie. That wasn't 15. Play on. Higher to Redden. Higher was hit late. Umpire will bring it back. And it will be a free kick to Redden because Higher was taken out late. So the ball will go down the ground and Redden was the player who gets it.
Well, look at this, a fantastic smother by Backwell. Deserved a better result in the end. He came back on his left foot, but a goal wasn't to be.
Dennis Redden taking his time. And again, it's a one-on-one contest all around the ground, so he's forced to go down the line in front of the grandstand. Long and high. Pedler at the back judged it best brilliantly. Pedler wastes no time. Long and direct to Salter at centre half forward. Jarrett was there. Fair close, spoiled his attempt in the end. Now Hinge for Glenelg. Mules, down the line he goes. Carries the pack. Fisher out of bounds. Now the camera's right in the action down there.
This is a great dress rehearsal for finals footy, as you alluded to, Neil. It's tough one-on-one footy, exactly what finals is about.
Daniel Kirk just gets some refreshment, just takes a rest. Paul Sherwood, he back on. Sikalella, just working and dummying around, does it well. Jarman-like, got it to Vince. Vince's high kick. Schwarz can't take the mark. Loose ball running into the pocket. Schwarz, can he keep it in? Did well, got it to Simmons. Simmons squared to Powell. That's a good result for the Eagles. That ball was just about out of bounds. Terrific work right on the line by Schwarz.
Yeah, it was. And once again, the Eagles finding someone inside 50. Just go back to it. You see Simmons, he shapes up. Could have had a shot for goal, but saw Powell in a better position. Not a known goal kicker, Luke Powell. It's not the best strength in his game, and this might just test him from here.
4 goals, 5 coming into this match. Luke Powell. See what he can do. He's been able to do what most of them have been able to do today, is miss. So the Eagles 2-5. That's poor kicking with a slight breeze to that end.
It is. He's a terrific player, Powell. Of course, he's runner-up in a McGarry medal, and he's been fantastic since he's come to the Eagles from Geelong.
Combined total of 3-6 for the afternoon for the two teams. Been some poor goal kicking, hasn't there?
Yeah, it's almost as low as the goal kicking we saw last night in the first half of the AFL final.
McConnell short to Sugars. He goes for Cranston, who did well in the end just to spoil the ball. Treby back to Lindsay. Loose kick, you'd expect that from the big guy on his wrong side. Now Fisher running from Ruwalt, and Rudolph crashed through one. Kane had numbers. They work it through Allen, and now Sherwood will look inside half forward. Good lead from Doldig, didn't quite hit him. He picked it up well, gave it away. Straight away to McKenzie. McKenzie was good. Lomas who's got one free on the wing. Treby, good carry on the kick. Treby's a left footer, and he'll run away from Cranston and go long. For Salter, couldn't get rid of Sugars. That was really nice from Sugars. And now they'll go the other way, the Bays.
Mules from half back has got a runner on the wing in block. Takes it on the wing, gets around Vince. Vince with the desperate dive, and the kick's turned over. And McKenzie is just dropping back in that hole as he does so well. To the outer side to Treby, who's having a pretty good first quarter. Fairclough will run and bounce along the outer side. Straightens up now. Looks for Salter, who's got some body work to do, and that is clever. He is an exceptionally talented forward, this guy. Uses his body well, takes a nice mark, and normally a pretty accurate shot for goal.
There's some interesting byplay going on here as we see Josh Marnie come off the ground for a rest with Rudolph at full back and Schwartz trying to play one out in the square. Rudolph trying to run him up the ground, and that leaves Salter with his opponent there in Sugars as two of the key forwards jostling for position.
What do they say? It's a disease? They've missed again.
Rod, we can understand Rudolph just trying to run Schwartz away. Last time they met, Schwartz bagged 3 goals in the first 15 minutes of the game playing on Rudolph, and Rudolph was switched from that position. So no doubt he's trying to keep Schwartz away from the goal front as much as possible.
It's been interesting because Sugars has to make the decision whether he stays with Salter or goes back to Schwartz a couple of times. He's played smart footy, Sugars.
McConnell, good awareness. Knew that Backwell was there. Now Holmes. Now to Backwell. Quickly off he went. Oh, it's set up. He set up Murphy, who lost it. They do have some numbers and they do have some handball sharing going on. Now McConnell, that was behind play in the back, and I think Fairclough will get a free kick, or will he? No, it was out of bounds.
Just have another look at that. I think the ball goes out of bounds here. You see McConnell, who runs out of bounds with the ball, and good decision by the umpire, as they always are.
Right, angling for another competition medal somewhere. Here the Eagles, they work it through the hands to Jarrett, off a step, he went inside 50, well done by Salter, got rid of his man, well done by Sherwood, who left his man, came across, took it towards the boundary line, 25 around from the Eagles' goal. 21 minutes opening quarter, their margin 11 points here, and last night it was a great contest between Sturton North, and the winner secured the double chance, and that was North Adelaide. We'll have those highlights at quarter time. Cooper at the back, he's on his left foot and left hand, and off to Vince, and Vince doesn't miss.
Gee, that was good play. I was just watching Vince as he wandered down and was free in the forward line, and thought this looks dangerous because they've been relying on their tall forwards. Just go back to the replay here. You see Cooper, clever, over the top. Vince was in space and should never have been. He's an on-baller, wasn't manned up on, and terrific goal. He has wonderful skills and is a terrific player, Bernie Vince.
Good goal kicker for them. Limited appearances, but 16 goals, 7 on the season for Bernie Vince.
Yep, very accurate. 9 scoring shots to 2 at this stage of the quarter, and the Eagles 3-1 out of the centre, boys.
That breeze mark, just really probably 2 or 3 goals, you'd think.
Yeah, no doubt about that, Michael. It is, look, it is pretty significant. I'm not sure how you can tell up there in the box, but look, I think the Bays talked about a fast start, and if they can remain sort of within 2 or 3 goals against this breeze, I think Mark Mick can be reasonably happy.
Out of the centre, just a high kick. Redden just backed himself, went after the footy again. A lot of congestion. Stewart's there, just takes Allen to ground, and another ball up. Ty Allen's been amongst the thick of it so far in the first term. It's looked pretty handy. Looks like he's running on top of the ground at the moment. He's had a few injury problems.
He means a lot to them. He gives them that toughness around the ball, Michael.
Rocky is a tough nut, Ty Allen. He's a paver, and he actually split the webbing in his feet work over summer. Didn't even miss a training night from it, so he'll have a crack all day. Don't worry about him.
He's a good one, no doubt about that. Free for over the shoulder went to Dabrowski, who found Cooper. Cooper loves to wheel around on that left boot, and he can normally kick long distances. He'll hope for a mark. Salter, oh, brilliant play. Can he cap it off for the goal? He did. That is class with a capital C, Nick Salter. Well, he's missed a couple, and he's finally found the radar.
He's a real player, isn't he, Salter? Like, the way he's handled this first quarter, he's been terrific. He's jostled for position. He's been one-on-one. We just watched the ball go down now, used his body well, and he's finished superb. Maybe he has a future above this level, Michael.
Oh, no doubt about that. Guys are gold that have got goal sense and able to take marks and use their body and read the play like this guy.
Yeah, no, he's terrific.
Well, gee, 2 form teams in the competition coming to this match with 4 in a row. The Eagles had won and Glenelg had won 5 in a row, but certainly that form is proving elusive for the Tigers this afternoon. Dabrowski tried to hit it. In the end, had a fresh air. Cranston slipped out the hand pass. He rebounded out to Kane. Hard surface to crash in on. Dabrowski put it in front of him, tried to get it past the goalkeeper there in Backwell. Gee, it's ferocious in the middle. Look at him go in. Finally, we get another bounce. And yes, that happy birthday to Glenn and Alice Springs, I assume. It's from he is the son-in-law of the team manager of the Eagles.
He's drawing a long bow. Good work.
Eagles in tight, doing the job at the moment. And that looked high on Treby very briefly from Murphy. It'll be a free kick. Treby, he's a long kick. He's favoured by the breeze. He pumps it long, and it didn't come off the boot right, and so Sherwood's intercepted it, and the veteran drops it in short for Fisher. And the Bays just haven't been able to break the stranglehold.
They can't get the ball inside 50. I don't think they've got it inside much in the last 10 minutes, boys.
Backwell's got it on the wing and wants to go short to Fisher. So they're just playing that short game, if they can, just gradually tacking their way toward goal against that breeze that Mark Soderstrom reports is around 2 to 3 goals at least. Hinge used his body well and just couldn't take the mark. Backwell taken to ground fiercely by Fairclough. And a ball up right in front of the interchange bench. And Mark, you got a pretty good view of this. The umpire decides to just throw it up. Treby, Cranston, locked in one arm, bursts through. Fisher over the top. Willoughby's got some work to do. Marnie cleverly to Holmes. Got a free kick, Marnie, for pushing the back. You know that he'll put his body on the line every single time. Josh Marnie may be playing his last season of football. One wonders whether he'll play next year for Glenelg. Short kick. Fisher just went without it. Good tackle, Treby. That's surely going to be rewarded. It's not. It spills out the back to Marnie. Marnie looks for Kirkby. Kirkby can't take it. In they go. Pedler thought he copped one high. Handball back by Stewart. McKenzie. The kick was effective, close to the line, and finally dribbles over. It's a fierce contest, Rob Campbell, at the minute.
It is a fierce contest. It's what we were looking for, and you can see that both sides don't want to give anything here.
Inside 50s, 13-7 the Eagles way at the moment, boys. Eagles averaging 5 possessions for every inside 50. Glenelg nearly 12.
The two most efficient sides in the competition, but today the Eagles well on top in that area.
Fisher with another possession, high towards 50. McConnell was there, went to ground, I thought far too easily, knocked in by Kirk, did well. Now they share it to Smith in the corridor, and Smith just shut down brilliantly. Cleared to the far side of the ground for Jarrett, but he won't get there ahead of Kane. Kane can now chip over the top to Mules. He goes further than that, and Murphy couldn't take it. And again, the Eagles' pressure very evident in those pieces of play. Let's have another look at how they do it.
This is a fantastic effort here. You see Pedler fiercely committed, and he creates a smother, gives Brody Lomas a chance to get possession of the footy.
Murphy taken to ground. Umpire says, I'll have it, in front of a scoreboard that shows 4-6 for the Eagles. Glenelg 1-1. Cleared out by Fiacci. Mules intercepts. He chips it back inside 50. Bit of carry. Kirkby missed it. Smith shared it with Kirk. And they have another one, the Tigers. Almost, you suspect, against the flow of play.
Certainly was. It's good to see that Glenelg got the ball in there quickly enough then to have a scoring opportunity. We just go back to it. Mules gets the ball in. You see McConnell where he should be. The ball comes over the top, and the big fella runs in and finishes off with a good goal, Kirk. So Glenelg staying in the hunt. They need to be within a couple of goals, even with this breeze, to stay in this match, which seemed to be slipping away from them.
It's the Kirk and Kirkby show at the moment. They've got the goals for Glenelg. Simmons, Cooper, Vincent, Salter with goals for the Eagles. It's back to a 17-point margin. Once again, a high bounce, very, very hard surface in the middle there. Treby's dropped the footy. Good reward in there for young Holmes. I've been pretty impressed with the way he's gone about his business so far in this first term, and that's a good kick out in front of his man in Smith, who can't mark it. Willoughby front and square, taken to ground. Some good tackling here. The umpire says, I will ball it up. Ticking into 29 minutes of this first term. And the Eagles have had the better of it, you'd have to say. Booted 4 goals, but they've missed some easy opportunities, and they could have been further in front. Cranston just belts it. Marnie lost it. Jarrett, good tackle by Block, and a block and tackle.
Yes, it was a good tackle, and he started quite well. Block.
Still inside the centre square, and that'll be it for the opening term here at Woodville. And the Eagles were impressive, but they did sneak back a couple of goals, Glenelg. And at quarter time, the Eagles 4-6-30, Glenelg 2-1-13.
It is a true indication of where the game's at. The Eagles 17 points in front is just reward. They went inside 50 a lot and have played this game well with the breeze.
Well, as we promised, it's quarter time here and it's time to look at last night's match where Sturt took on North Adelaide, and the winner was, of course, guaranteed the double chance in the finals. And although North Adelaide started the first few minutes okay, they really were swamped by the double blues in the first half. And at one stage, Sturt opening up a 6-goal lead. And they did some very good work from their youngsters. They were missing a few players, the double blues, coming into this match. And they certainly made a good fist of it in the first half.
Yeah, look, the stakes were high and both teams came ready to play, but it was Sturt who, after 2 losses in a row, and with their Brant Chambers kicking his 100th goal last week, were ready for the contest.
Yeah, Chambers provided 5 goals in the first half, a great target up forward, but they were without Thompson through concussion, Herring with a hamstring, Bentley to the Port Adelaide side, and Gregory with an ankle, who were all mainstays of their side this season, the Double Blues. They found some options, there's no doubt about that, certainly in the first half, and they discovered some of their best form. And
that's going to stand them in good stead for the finals. The disappointing part for Sturt fans and their coach Rick McGowan is the fact that they lost a game that guaranteed them the double chance. They don't have that now, but they come into some good form coming into the finals and get some good game time with some younger players.
What we see here is some of the class of North Adelaide. They kicked 8 goals to 3 in the third term to come right back into the match. They only trailed by 6 points at 3/4 time. And we see that not very often in SANFL footy, the class and skill taking it from end to end.
We don't, and the faith and confidence they have in their game plan and the way they go about it to come back from something like that. Again, they're good signs for North Adelaide leading into the finals and gives them the double chance, which before yesterday was looking a little unlikely.
See there, the Double Blues getting 1 back, but certainly, you said, a dominant performance from a team that was thought of really as mentally fragile in North Adelaide.
True, and it's one of the tests they had, and they still have that test to come in this final series after the last couple of years, so we'll see how they stand up to that.
You see there, they went in full of confidence at 3/4 time. Andrew Jarman bursting through the gate. Here's what he said.
I'm proud of what you say. Come on, boys. One more game. Finish off. You'll go down in history as one of the great wins in this club.
Well, that was just a taste of it. We'll get some more in just a moment as we look at how the last term unfolded. And the Double Blues just simply overran in the end.
Yeah, there was a game there to be won, and it was a matter of who wanted it badly enough, and it was North Adelaide that came out on top last night, and just a great reward for the confidence they had in their system. To get up and win a game like that is great for their finals aspirations.
Now, I promise you, Les Burdett has this ground in good nick. The grass doesn't look like it's full of life at the moment, but of course it has been resurfaced, and so it will be even better for the finals. The downside for the Double Blues, they've played on the Adelaide Oval 3 times this season. They've had 3 losses to Glenelg, the Eagles, and now North Adelaide, 3 finalists that they'll come up against. 7 points the margin. Brant Chambers, we said, kicking 6 goals, 106 for the season. And we mentioned about Andrew Jarman, and this is 3/4 time, took them across to the scoreboard on the hill, and he had a few words to them. And there are some words that we can't let you hear, but let's have a listen now.
You need to stay calm. Stay calm. You know why you got back in the game? Look on these stoppages. You smashed them.
That's it, boys.
And you didn't give up. You dived up, balled up. Never seen you do before. And you ran. Don't stop. You kick the next goal. You'll play this. Come on, boys. Everyone, stay calm. Play in front, and you'll get the free kicks. You're proud. I'm proud of what you say. Come on, boys. One more game. Finish off. You'll go down in history as one of the great wins in this club.
Ah, the passion of Andrew Jarman, don't you love it? Stay calm, meanwhile I'll go right over the top.
Yeah, it's beautiful footage, and he's a very passionate man.
And look, I don't think we'll hear the same from the Glenelg huddle. I think Mark Mickens a little bit more measured. We're going down to have a listen.
You know, we didn't get the start we wanted. We didn't get the start we wanted at all. But we started to work our way back into it because we started to be more competitive around stoppages. We still need a real good contest from our ruckman. At the centre bounce, all they're doing is they're walking across and not jumping. We talked about it all week. Get a good jump away. Hold and then run and jump. Get right up, knee in. Get up there at it. That gets the momentum going our way then. And that's super important. Centre bounces are super important. And you blokes have huge responsibility to get the ball going our way. You blokes around them, Give them the voice, give them the support that they need. Okay, because it's a big area of the game.
Well, we heard Mark Micken. It was all about the start. They didn't quite get it, but they did work their way back in. Over at the Eagles huddle, well, they're reasonably content with the way that they've gone about it. A little bit disappointed that they have been wasteful. And Andrew Rogers spoke to the defenders. A little bit of, well, undisciplined where a ball did go over the back. It led to one of the Bay's goals. Now that Glenelg do have the breeze, he wants his players to be very, very mindful that in defence the ball must come front, not go over the back, because it will tend to carry a little more. But he wants that discipline just to be tightened up a little bit.
Thanks for that, Sodas. As we just look at your favourite stat, the centre clearances and the inside 50s.
Yeah, thanks, Neil. With inside 50s, 13-10, Glenelg got the last few, which evened it up. The Eagles were very dominant early and used the ball well inside 50, but didn't finish with goals. The centre break's pretty even, but I think the Eagles have an ascendancy there at the stoppages around the ground.
Quickly look ahead to what's coming up next Sunday on ABC TV, and note that that's next Sunday when we get into the finals, and note the time, 1:30. It's a double header in the elimination and qualifying finals. Back down to Sodas.
Now, the man of the moment for the Bays, Benny Moore, announced his retirement. Out with the hammy. Is there any danger that you won't play an elimination final next week?
No, a bit precautionary today. Just looking forward to next week. No, the hammy could be 100% next week, so ready to go.
Good work, Benny. And the boys got back into it okay?
Yeah, we'll take that. We a bit of a 3-4 goal breeze out there, so a bit harder at the footy. We'll be looking forward to, you know, getting in front in this second quarter.
Looking forward to seeing you in action next week too, Benny. Good work.
Good on you, Soda, man.
Well done, Mark, and Ben Moore. It'll be great to see him back. Second quarter of round 23. Kirk and Lindsay. Flicks over the back. Fisher missed it. Cooper didn't. Fisher got him. He got it away, though. Powell. Kicked it high. Salters there. Worked his way in front. No free kick. Flicked over the back. Well done by Grokey. Back to Powell. Measures looking for Schwartz. Didn't complete the mark. Treby. Desperation. Marnie. Treby again. Mules just gave it to Hinge. Sugars. Sherwood out of trouble. The kick will find Holmes. He won't mark it. He got a good bounce. Over the top is Smith. Running with him, Fisher. He goes further afield to Smith. Then he lays off to Fisher. In the pocket is McConnell. And it's lace out.
It's nice to see. Sorry, Mike. It's nice to see McConnell back in the forward 50. He picked up most of his possessions outside of 50. He's kicked 58 goals. He's their main source of goal kicking, and I think he needs to play close to the goal square.
It's a good idea to have him when you've got the breeze and have him playing up there. Justin McConnell, he'll have to do a bit of work here. Let's see what he can do. That is a wonderful kick.
Perfect kick.
He knows where they are, this man. He's good at 59 now.
Terrific kick by McConnell. He sized it up. Very confident approach. Just laid back on it. Kicked it beautifully. Put it in the right spot. Good kick by Fisher. Smith saw him coming. Great teamwork and great finish. Nice start to the quarter by Glenelg. We need to see them keep it up now and make a game of it.
Justin McConnell, quality player. Always wearing the long sleeves, even on a day when it's going to reach 26 degrees. Coming across from North Ballarat, I imagine long sleeves compulsory there.
You'd imagine so.
Lindsay steps across, and as Mark Micken suggested to his ruckman, get up and tap it. Don't just hold back, and that's what Kirk did. It hasn't given them the clearance, though. Now you wonder if Lindsay's just going to maul Kirk to save him from being able to jump.
Really enjoy listening to Mark Micken at his breaks. I say he's very instructive with his words.
Cooper opposed to Backwell, who went after his opponent in Jarrett and brought him down, and umpire will call for it. And now Jarrett and Backwell get into it, and it's 3-on-1, 4-on-1. The Eagles surround him. Free kick to Backwell.
He was the initiator.
Absolutely, you knew what he was going to do.
He is the umpire's favourite.
You just know here he's going to do something, and there he goes. Puts the pressure on. Jarrett just tried to defend himself.
Ball down to half forward. Fisher standing off the pack. Around one. Long kick to the goal face. McConnell. He was in the middle of it. Well done by Pedler coming in and behind play. Doldig's down. Maybe an ankle, maybe a knee. Mark Soderstrom will keep an eye on that as Pedler clears it to the far side, and Powell, no two grabs. Was good enough to get it to Sikalella. Players in the corridor are plenty for the Eagles. They go long and direct for Salter. Sherwood got it to ground. Now he's in trouble. Going back defensively. Tried to get it to Sugars. Now it's held up inside. Maybe Sugar's dived on it. Umpire says, my ball. And let's have another look back at Matthew Doldig coming down in the middle of the pack.
Gee, a little innocuous, but obviously the result not good for Glenelg.
Yeah, it's got to be an ankle there somehow. And Sherwood's gone to Salter, and that's not a bad move if you're a Glenelg fan, because Salter was getting some pretty tidy ball in that first quarter. But there's Doldig, and he's in a bit of pain there at the moment.
I think Sherwood did a lot of running and ended up on Salter at the end of the first quarter as well, trying to quieten him down.
Here's a chance for Mules to get it to Ruwalt. They're under pressure. Ruwalt just held onto the footy. That was good play, then cleared the area. They did a good bounce here at the base. And it falls to Lomas, who's brutalised over the line by Hinge. That won't worry Brodie Lomas. He'll keep coming back, and I wonder whether that man will come back. Let's have a close look, just waiting to get the golden boots off. Back to that in a moment. Mark Soderstrom keeping a close eye on that. Powell has it for the Eagles. Floats a long kick. This might bounce through. It didn't. Just away to the right. And the Eagles looking dangerous against this breeze. They're getting plenty of football right.
They are. I'm interested in the midfield matchups. You see there Murphy with Powell, and you also see Fisher going with Vince. Both players having an effect on the game.
Oh, there's an egg.
12 points, I should say. 2 goals, the margin. And Murphy took a strong mark running for him. Holmes, great work, really. That wasn't the greatest of hand pass. Holmes was much better. Here's Kane breaking towards the 50. And the umpire spotted a holding inside 50 off the ball. And Marnie will take the free kick, and he'll kick for goal. Shouldn't be a problem with distance with the wind behind him from 45 metres. And Matt Doldig going down into the rooms. You'd think they'd have a good look at that and decide yes or no to taping it and sending him out again. And I would judge by the way he's gingerly getting down the stairs that maybe we won't see him for the rest of the day.
Gee, it looks bad when you can see it there. It's egged up, Michael, as you suggested.
Yeah.
Yes, doesn't look good for Matt Doldig. Only his 6th game of the season. Kicked 2 goals last week against the Double Blues. Here's Marnie kicking for goal. Lovely finish. Beautiful finish. Margin just 6 points now. Here come the Bays.
Obviously something happened off the footy there. We didn't see what happened to allow Marnie to get that free kick. But it's great conversion with the breeze right back in this game now. Let's go back to it. You watch Marnie. He's not the most fluent kick in his style, but he's very effective and kicks a terrific goal.
Good player, that man, Josh Marnie. He'll give you plenty. Back to 1 straight kick in it. That'll level the scores. Glenelg 4-1. Been the tidier on the goal-kicking side of it. The Eagles have frittered away some opportunities. That first term, Kirk, palm down. No free kick to Allen. Just ducked his head in the tackle there and says, come on, umpire. Cop one around the neck. Ron Fuller on the phone.
It's a terrific battle around the centre.
Yeah, look, it is. They're not giving too much. 3rd man up was Marnie. Ball spills out. Mules had to go and did. Kane. Can he get some clean football? Treby, Vince, hurriedly on the boot. Brokey from behind, Hinge stood his ground. Good play. Handball to Murphy. Bays are away. Ruwalt wants to get on the right. Then finds Kirk. Kirk on the wing. The outer side. Will look for a long bomb. Coming out is Cranston. Can't quite get there. Awkward bounce. McKenzie, as he does so well, to Pedler. And the Eagles are out of trouble, and on the rebound, it's taken by Fiacci.
Goes to the corridor. Treby held up well by Kirk. Treby. Bang goes the pass. Low and hard to Salter, who waits. Schwarz is off in a lead, slipping and goes again. It's set up high. Should be punched away. Is punched away. Vince slips as well. Kane goes after the ball. Schwarz is after him. Kane's got pace. Schwarz was lucky with the bounce in the end. Mules has a go at Schwarz, who has a go at Mules, who isn't afraid to back down. Let's put it that way.
Ambitious by Schwarz, trying to trick the umpire that the ball was still in play there, Michael.
Oh, yeah. They all tried.
Fiacci did a 360 and then a fresh air. Murphy, good vision. Ruwalt Ruo goes for Cranston. Meyer comes from behind, lovely smashing punch to the front. Simmons in the back. And play on advantage, Cooper. Goes long to the square, pressure on, coming the other way. I think Sherwood's given away a free kick, and he has. He just crashed in, and Brokey will get up. And those model good looks, just lucky they weren't severely damaged in that collision.
Could have meant more work for Sodas, though, if they were.
Just have another look.
Yeah, we do. Once again, it was Cooper putting the ball in the perfect area. Great courage by Grokey, and he deserves to get a goal there. Very brave, attacked the ball hard, got the kick, and a good goal. Well deserved for the Eagles and Grokey.
Ball started with that Ty Allen free kick in the centre there. Really just
watch here. You see, it's great courage. Sherwood did what he could, but shouldn't have given a free kick away in that instance.
No question about that, but gee, Allen was really untidy in that sequence of play to allow Cooper to kick it forward. And I suppose it's just a little thing sometimes. If you're just that fraction of a second late.
Even though the Eagles have kicked 5-7, it's been their poor kicking rather than where they were putting the ball. They've used the ball terrific into the hot spots in the forward line, and their entries inside 50 are great.
Back out to 12 points in favour of the Eagles. Just that 2-goal buffer. Kirk is doing plenty of leaping in the ruck and then followed it up. Just a kick out wide. One for the racehorses. Stewart's there. That's James Stewart, and another ball in.
McKenzie on Kirkby's a good and interesting matchup. McKenzie started well and is a terrific player. He can go back and play a key position as he is doing, but in the finals, if he's fit enough, he can certainly go on the ball and do a job as well.
Interesting to absentee in there is Stephen Rowe, not in the box this afternoon. I wonder where Stephen might be.
Cambo? I'd imagine he might be overcalling the Adelaide Hawthorn game, Michael.
Yes. Yeah. Boundary throw in, Ron Fuller. Just to hurl it in. Smith. All thumped away by Dabrowski. Close to the line. Mules will want to keep this in. Does so with the twinkle toes and then just squeezed the kick out, and it was out of bounds. And Kane, as Justin Cicolella just looks on with a chuckle. I thought he might have just scraped that one in.
He was hopeful, but Sicker knew what was going on. He's a wise man.
Brett Backwell just taking a seat for a while as the Eagles try and work it from the back. Treby's found some space in the corridor and can go. And he didn't like what he saw. Dummied around one. Off to McKenzie. McKenzie looks up. Oh, and he trips himself up. Gee, I thought that cricket pitch looked nice and smooth and ready for summer, but obviously there was a bump in it. McKenzie went down. And we'll get a ball up inside the centre square.
See McKenzie. Petrenko actually, oh, he trips himself up, as you said, Neil.
Oh, yeah.
Petrenko, a little bit in it.
A little bit pigeon-toed, perhaps, McKenzie. Here's block. Tackle front on by Fiachi. Crowd wants a free kick. None coming. Just back to McKenzie. I saw him before walking around as if he had somewhat of a limp. I know he was in a moon boot earlier this season for an Achilles or a foot problem.
I think that's part of his gait. He's got an unusual walking style, you'll find, Neil.
Maxie Walker would be proud of that, wouldn't he?
Allen taken the ground. Umpire says, I'll have it, right in front of the grandstand, and the Eagles supporters centre wing and centre stage. Umpire Colin Rouston coming in.
Gee, that's a great tackle. He goes in there, young Stewart. Stewart and Fiachi's last two tackles are fantastic.
Here we go, another stoppage to be won. And as you were, start again.
Ty Allen's really beefed it up in the midfield. He's the one that's really showing some solid aggression for Glenelg, trying to lift them. Flicks over the back to Jarrett, who squeezed it out to Vince, who marked in front of his face, which was a terrific take. He kicks it high. Salter's in front. He normally gets these. Ball knocked away by Sherwood. Willoughby there. Willoughby out to Holmes. Can he keep it in? Fairclough did pretty well to drive him to the line. And he just ran out of room. A boundary throw in, and Ron Fuller watches on.
Yeah, there's not much in this game at the moment, but I think there's great signs for Eagles going into the finals. They've been tough and hard, and they've got a nice bit of polish about them and some players to come back in.
Yeah, no doubt about that. But gee, Glenelg are really stepping it up as well. Willoughby just fell over, and Lomas all over him like a rash. And another ball up. It's really tight at the moment. How many goals have we had in this term? A couple to Glenelg through McConnell and Marnie, and a single to Grokey. So just inching away at the moment. Lindsay, Fairclough, finally got the handle, and that's clever play to screw it back over the body. Willoughby should have taken that. Sikalella just ducked the head and went in after the footy. Was good enough to get it to Lindsay, but illegally, said the umpire. That was a throw. And it'll go to the former Sydney Swan in Josh Willoughby, who spent a few seasons there and now is back at his home at the Bay.
Spent 3 for no games of league football with the Swans. A history of injury. Here's Kane, former Hawk. Ruwalt dives back in, no success. Now Smith slipped out a hand pass. Marnie just belted it forward to Lomas. Oh, lovely little sidestep. Oh, now Simmons is by himself at a half forward. Nice kick inside 50. Grokey wants to get it on. He's got Treby running. Treby gets a bad bounce. Oh, it was set up. He knew he couldn't half volley it. He had to wait, and it just went away from him.
It was. You see Grokey here. There was no one up forward, and Treby was running down into space. Did it well. Timed his run well, but the ball bounced the wrong way for him.
Yes, that was pretty unlucky. Rudolph should have taken that. Was good enough to recover. Just about to get mown down, and then got the kick away. Allen slipped it to Ruwalt. Glenelg go inside 50. Kirk's just on the treadmill, and let's see how he goes here. Riding him is Higher. Kirk keeps it in front of him. Good contest that. Higher stayed in the contest, dived on the footy. Umpire Day says, give it to me. That's a pretty good contest. They were both in the contest and out of it, and a ball up in shoes.
Both very competitive, and that's what this whole game's been about today. Terrific contest.
15 minutes gone. By Day with a good bounce. Lindsay knocking it down. A lot of players around this footy. Ruwalt kept it in. It drifts away and out of bounds for a boundary throw in. 15 and a half gone, and this game just pretty tight at the moment, Rod, isn't it? Just no one been able to really break it away, although the Bays have kicked a couple.
Contest. It's interesting to see what Glenelg do here at this restart of play. There's a lot of space in their goal scorer forward of this contest. If they hit it forward, they're a real chance.
Well, they did hit it forward to Ruwalt, who just found that there was just a roadblock called Lindsay blocking his way.
Scary roadblock too.
He's a big bear, isn't he?
He is. He's been a fantastic player in this competition for probably 7 or 8 years now.
There, the big paw goes up, and now he follows up on the ground. And we'll get another ball up, another stoppage. They're just grinding away, both sides. At the moment, it's no knockout blows being delivered, just a lot of little jabs here and there.
I think Lindsay's measure at this footy club is in his professionalism and the way he goes about his preparation.
McConnell, sharp angle. They did get it forward of the play rod, and it opened up for McConnell, and gee whiz, he's good. The sharpshooter.
Yeah, I was really interested to watch how they did set up, and both boundary throw-ins there and ball ups. They kept space in front, as you can see when we go to it here. Quick handball by Ruwalt, and McConnell in space because he had no one running at him. That was good. Well set up, well constructed, terrific goal.
8 possessions, 3 marks to McConnell today.
Yeah, thanks, Chris. We'll just watch him with interest in the finals. McConnell, he's up to 60 goals now in the season, so that's a terrific effort for a player of his size. Kicked a couple in this term. Free kick in the centre will go to the Eagles. It'll go to Paul Lindsay. Running at the back was Vince, but Back was aware of that. Doesn't kick very often, Paul Lindsay, but he's forced to do so now. At the back, Sherwood will thump it away. Simmons is right there. The kick, looking for Schwarz. He won't get there.
Great courage.
Lovely mark. That's terrific play by Sugars. Just floating across with no... Well, there's a free kick in the meantime. Goes to Rudolph, and poor old Sugars has copped the battering.
Yeah, just go back to this. You see Sugars' great courage. Sweet by Sugars, but Rudolph gets the free kick.
With his red nose. Taken by Smith. Kicks down the line, looking for Kirk. At the back, Higher. They had a real scuffle on the other side. Allen thought about giving it to Kane, then thought better of it and got it to Cranston, forward of the play. Cranston tries to get it to Marnie. In comes Kane. Intelligent paddle away to Marnie. Marnie shoots for goal. and doesn't miss. He's got a couple, Josh Marnie, but how good was the work on the other side by Trevor Cranston?
Well,
and
it was
Ben
fantastic.
Kane.
Yeah, Kane in particular as well. Selfless acts are going to tell the difference in this game, and he did well to just tap it in front. Just going to watch it now. You see that, there's Marnie kicking the goal after Kane pushed the ball into his area. His teammate slipped over, or opponent slipped over, and Marnie made the most of it. He's working himself nicely into this game and into a final series.
4 goals to 1 in this quarter for the Bays, and they trail by just the 1 point. 17 was the margin at quarter time. And again, Lindsay just stands there in the big light tower, palms it down. Jared somehow got his foot to ball, scrambled it a few metres forward. Fisher was good. Mules distributed well to Sugars, and the delicate little kick around the corner floats out on the full.
Fisher is an outstanding player. His work around these stoppages and his selfless acts have been terrific as well.
Injury interrupted season last year for
brave Luke Powell,
Fisher.
terrific mark.
So Powell with Schwarz on the lead. It'll carry too far, you'd think, and coming across Kirk. Gee, I reckon, Rod, the two ruckmen, Kirk and Cranston, and their mobility has been good. A very positive point for the Bays this afternoon as Sherwood shows some good mobility and goes back to the captain and Mules, who drops it short for Kane.
Yeah, you're right there, Neil. What they're doing, the two backmen are pushing into the hole in front of Schwartz at full forward. That's working well for them. Lindsay needs to get up there and get dangerous.
Here's Lindsay, won't catch Willoughby. The Will-o'-the-Wisp just ducked around, got it to Rudolph. What's he doing there? He's dragged his opponent down the ground, and what a great delivery. So it was run, Rudolph, and he got it off nicely to McConnell.
But what's happened there? Kirk has actually covered for Rudolph and signalled him to go forward, and there he is, Rudolph in space. His opponent didn't run with him, and who's he found? None other than the main goal kicker for Glenelg this year, with 62 today, going for his 3rd goal.
So Lindsay goes off the ground as McConnell lines up, and it just fades away. He's got a great angle on that. He started it perhaps a little too far right.
Isn't he laconic in his style of kicking?
Confident too.
Yeah.
Big Schwarz comes off. Mark, they've bottled him up pretty well, the big number 11, haven't they?
Yeah, Rudolph's done very well just running him out of the goal square. So Ron Ford just looking to mix that up a bit now. Sikalella back on the ground, so Rudolph will have to deal with the skipper.
And Salter's gone to the goal square. He's one out inside 50 for the Eagles now.
Yeah, that's not a bad effort if they can isolate him. Sikalella hugs the line. Trevi was going to let it go for a second, then took the mark. Jarrett, will they go into the pocket? The lead comes from Salter. He squares it up. Can Sherwood get there? Punches away. Well done. He's having a purple patch, Sherwood. Hinge got it to Kane. Kane's kick looking for Marnie. That's a wonderful knock away by Petrenko. Out of bounds. He's a talented young player showing his defensive skills and knocked it out of bounds. There he is. He's got a lot of tape on him at the moment, Jared Petrenko, as Fisher takes a rest on the bench.
Big job at the moment, Michael, for Petrenko. He's looking after Marnie, who's kicked 2 goals this quarter. Petrenko pretty unlucky not to join Brad Ebert in the All-Australian under-18 side after a pretty good campaign earlier in the year.
Yeah, you learn a bit today, Mark, running around with a player of Josh Marnie's experience, a 2004 Premiership player, and there's Holmes taking a spell down on the boundary. I've been impressed with the way he's gone about it as well today.
Yeah, he's been good, the young fella.
There's Kirkby kicking into the pocket. McConnell can't get there. It rolls out of bounds. Redden's the man that's looking after McConnell at the moment. There he is.
Well, Redden's having trouble with McConnell, you'd have to say, in this quarter. So we'll just see how that pans out. But Ronnie Fuller might be looking to make a move if McConnell keeps up his good form.
Time on second term. And with the breeze, they've made good ground, Glenelg, in this quarter.
There's that open space, Michael and Neil, for Glenelg to go forward if they can win the ball.
They haven't on this occasion. Dabrowski kick smothered. Smith just knocked it forward now. Pedler to the boundary line. Professional work from Joey Pedler.
Joey's boots are doing plenty too, boys.
Fairly bright, aren't they?
Yep.
As I said some time ago, it's unusual to see a black pair of boots these days. So Glenelg using 2 ruckmen here, and neither of them managed to get the tap. Accidentally back well to Lomas. And then down the line it went for Vince, who showed good hands out in front of the eyes. Bernie Vince holds up play. What a journey. A couple of years ago playing for CMS Crows, couldn't even get a game in reserves here at Woodville.
His first game was against Glenelg when he debuted late in the season. In his debut year, he played very well.
Oh, gee, that kick carried Willoughby, couldn't shut down Redden, who's now away, goes for Sikalella in front of Rudolph, and Rudolph was not going to make the same mistake and gave up 25, and that has slowed the approach of the Eagles.
A little bit costly there. The Eagles were off and running. Sikalella handballing the ball to Jared, but forced to take the 25 now. Sika has to reconsider.
Is that the rule, Rod? Do they have to take it?
Yeah, they have to. Once, because the umpire blows time out to give it. But the problem there was, I reckon, that was about 15. So now Treby drops it in short. Vince leads up, waits, looks. A lot of Bays players back inside 50 trying to crowd it up, and they're successfully doing it at the moment. Remember, he's kicking into the breeze as well, so I don't think he's going to carry this ball 60 metres.
But he's a very smart player. He'll do the right thing. What that is, I'm not sure just yet. He's just going to pop it up at the top of the square.
Have a fly, and there's Grokuel unopposed in the end, and Sugars took it away. That was a bit of luck. And Ruwalt signalled to Sugars, well, gee, I was free on the outlet. Instead, he went for the boundary, far side of the ground. Let's just have another look. And Groki really was unopposed, should have taken it. Just dropped it.
Yeah, he'll rue that miss, Groki.
Ty Allen having a spell down there, Mark.
Yeah, the angry little ant. He's, look, he works pretty hard. Did a super job, I think, a year ago. He kept Matty Slade to 10 possessions at the Bay. And Mark Micken used him very well on and off the bench as a stopper. Very unobtrusive, but certainly gets the job done.
He's not the only tie at the moment either, so he's all tied up on the scoreboard too.
Yes,
working beautifully, Rob.
Oh, look, he's a magician, a wordsmith. We've got one in the box here. Thank goodness we have. Dabrowski's got the free kick, and this will take one of his best kicks to pop it through. We know he's got a pretty reasonable leg, and he'll need to punch it all the way here. Dabrowski from 45. Plenty of elevation. It's coming back. It's coming around. It drifts away at the last moment and thumped through. But the Eagles hit the front by the solitary behind.
There's two different kicks into the forward line, boys. You see Dabrowski have a shot when he probably wasn't going to get a goal, and you see Vince just pop the ball at the top of the square where they nearly took a mark. Two different ways going inside.
Gee, that was good from Smith. Gave it off to Holmes, who fumbled. Pedler came in, he'll hold it in. Yeah, good experienced play there from Pedler. You could see straight away he knew he was surrounded. Hold it in, wait for the stoppage. Let's go again.
Been a fantastic defender for the Eagles. Just wants to play footy for the club and is rewarded with a premiership last year.
Just a 1-point margin. And ball again tied up inside the centre square. Dabrowski will go against Kirk. And in comes Jared, just thumps it forward. Rudolph fumble. Treby in the pack got it out. Sherwood read it well, went to the boundary. Umpire said deliberate. I didn't disguise that one very well, Paul Sherwood.
Yeah, we're going back to this. Had to be a free kick, didn't it? Sherwood just tapped it out of bounds. That was his intent. And the umpire saw it, obviously.
So Salter now can square it. Does so to Vince. Maybe just on distance here, you'd think, Bernie Vince.
Okay, let's see what he does here, Crossy. He can either put it at the top of the square if he thinks he's out of his distance, or if he thinks he can kick it, I think he will kick the goal if he has a shot for goal. Otherwise, he'll pop it at the top of the square. As I said, he's a very smart player. He knows what he's got at his disposal.
Well, he thinks he can make it, I think. Yeah, he's going to have a crack. And he started it right. It's drifting. And in the end, he was a metre out in his judgment.
He was. His judgment's off, and I think he needs to have a good hard look at himself.
He'll be pretty good today. Kicked a goal and
fantastic.
Behind, leading up. Here's Rudolph, who measured a lovely pass to McConnell earlier in the quarter. Mules. Over the top, Rudolph again, and he's away. He loves to run, this bloke. Kicks it long, just kicked to a contest though. Treby just cleverly out in front, couldn't grab it. Stewart comes in, he gets some, about 3 of them mob him, and then one of them got him over the shoulder. Here's Murphy.
Good attack on the ball by young Stewart. He took what was coming and earned a free kick.
Half-time at Woodville Oval in a real arm wrestle. Not a high-scoring game. Both coaches trying to work out how they can break this game open, but it's half-time. And the Eagles, 5-10-40, lead Glenelg 6-2-38. And they've spread the goal kickers around, Rod Campbell, to half.